Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. You still remember the F-4 Phantom? Well, it's just got itself a new sidekick. Yeah, the F-104 Starfighter. Although actually I designed this plane way before the F-4 Phantom, and it also take me a few months to design because actually this shape is kind of tricky to make and also making it a flyable model. So you can see it actually looks really realistic. You have this very sleek and streamlined fuselage, and you also have this iconic stubby wings and this T-tail, this intakes, and this afterburner. And yeah, it do flies. Yeah. Actually, when designing this plane, I actually thought that I almost gave up several times because yeah, I just thought, yeah, it's impossible, I can't do it or anything like that, but eventually I just don't give up and keep working on it, and finally you get this. And here's a little teaser. Speaking of this T-tail structure, I would say it's also going to appear on another jet, and that is the F-101 Voodoo, this one. So let's begin. To begin with, you prepare an A4 sheet of paper. Although I don't really recommend you to use printer paper directly, although if you are in practice, yeah, you can make that for some practice folds, and I suggest you use foil paper that is cut into this sort of A4 ratio, or origami paper, those that are kind of thinner and more easy to shape. But here we use foil paper because, yeah, I like this kind of texture of this jet. So let's begin. So on one side of the paper, we're going to make a water bomb base. Like so. And then after you made this water bomb base, you have this sort of excessive part that is rectangular, and you first follow this line and fold this whole section up, like so. Yeah, you may mistake it as some sort of simple plane or something, and then you just fold it down in half. Yeah, just make sure that everything, this part being meshed up. Yeah, same for the other side. This is what you get. And then you unfold this section, and then you notice that you have these pockets, and you just squash them down like so. And this one, the same. That is kite-shaped thing, and then you fold it like this. And this one, you just don't have to pull it up. Instead, you do this. You notice that here you have this crease for a reference, and what you're gonna do is fold this down and make sure that you have this line and this crease being perfectly matched up. And then unfold it and do it to the other side. Alright. After you do this step, you just have to flip this over. Oops, just this part. And you follow the crease you made and pull all this section up. And you match all these dots and then collapse it like so. And this is what you get in this stage. And then you fold this down, and then you fold this up, yeah, and then open this pocket and collapse it, and like so, and then fold it down. And yes, you notice that here you got a pivot point right here, and then you just follow this pivot point and fold all this section up like so. And this is what you get. You have to make sure that you have this part, yeah, this line is matched perfectly with the center line, and also you have this part, yeah, this also matched up, and this one here. And then you just have to pull this layer down like so, and same for the other side. And now you have this section over here, and what you're gonna do is you fold this up and make sure that this line and this line being perfectly matched up, And this one also, you just collapse it. Yeah, take a closer look like this. And then you just have to, yeah, fold this section out and just restructure it into, come on, in this stage, and this is what you get. Yeah, this step is kind of similar to Jason's Tiger Shark. And then let's do to the other side. You first fold it all over and then just twist it to here. Yeah, this is what you get now. All right. Here we are now, and then you notice that here we have this tiny triangle, and just have to fold this down like so, make a crease, and then you unfold it, return to this step like this, and then what you're gonna do is follow this creases right here and you pull this up, and then for this part you just follow the creases and collapse it, and then open this pocket and again follow the creases and collapse everything, and you're here now. And also you have to make sure that when you move to this step, this part is perfectly lined up, and then on the other side it should be like this. Yeah, this is what you get now. And after you just line up everything, you just have to fold this section up, matching these 2 points, and at the same time you just have to fold this down like so. And then at the same time you actually notice that this point and this point are perfectly matched, and this part is also perfectly matched up. And then you just have to match these 2 dots here and then fold it down, and also you make sure that here this line and this line being perfectly matched up, and I'll fold it and then do it to the other side. And now you have this center crease and these 2 creases right here, and you just have to fold it like this, and this is what you get now. And then flip it over, and you just have to follow this crease right here, this part, and you fold this over, and also this part is actually perfectly lined up, and this part is also lined up. Let's do it to the other side. Yeah, this is what you get now. Yeah, and then you just have to fold this down and make sure that this part and this center line is perfectly matched up, and this part is also matched up like this. And same for the other side, and this is what you get now. And you just have to pull out some layers like so. You go to this step, and also you have this section like right here, and you pull this layer out, and then let's see, okay, and then you poke out this pocket right here, and then just collapse it like so. Take a closer look. This is what you have. And then you just have to pull this pocket up and then move it in, and make sure that you have this line right here matching up with the center like this, and this is what you get in the center like this. And then you fold down this tiny bit of triangle that you have here, and then you unfold it. After doing so, you just have to open this section up again, and then you just reshape it and make something that looks like a bird base in this center. Yeah, tiny modified bird base. Come on. Alright, this is what you have now. Now let's collapse it. And you also have this section, and let's just go ahead and move it in. Follow the creases. And then you pull out this layer and then open this pocket like so. This is what you have. And then you just have to fold this in like this. And make sure that you have this line and this line being matched up like this. And then this is what you get. Congratulations, you have just made the base for the F-104. And actually this base is something that I just solely designed for this jet currently, and what other designs can you make with this base? That's up to you. Alright, let's continue, and we now have our base. And notice that you have these sections right here. And what you're gonna do is just fold them up like so. This is stage 1. Come on. And then stage 2, you just fold it up like so. And same for the other side. And then you just do it to this sections right here. You have this flaps under. And fold it up like so. Same for the other side. Yeah, just make sure that everything is perfectly lined up and matched up. And then fold it up. Fold it all up. Yeah. And then you just have to unfold it. And for these layers, you have to first open this up, and then you follow this line here and fold it all over to this place. Yeah. And actually you have this line and the center line being parallel. And then fold it over, and let's do to the other side. Yeah, this layer will become your intakes. Like so. And this is what you get now. Then let's see. So here you also have this layers, and that is going to be your wings. So what you're gonna do is actually you fold this up, and then yeah, it's like this, and then you fold it over and match this line right at this line. Come on. Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky because the layers are really thick out there. And that's how I ensure the CG of this plane being forward placing and reducing its tendency to stall. And also, same for the other side. Like this. Come on. Fold this up. And then unfold it, just for checking if things get matched up, and then you can check the symmetricity here. Alright, come on, Mr. Charger. Alright, now let's flip to this side, and then notice that here you have these layers, and what you're going to do is just fold it over like so, and then you also fold it like this, and same for the other side. But first we can collapse it. Yeah, just fold this over, follow the line, and then for this part just form this sort of pocket, and then you just match this line with this line, and then collapse it and form this sort of triangle thing. Oops. So this is what you have now. Come on. Yeah. Now let's fold them over like this. So yeah, you can see the stubby wings are slowly taking shape now. And now what you're gonna do is, yeah, you fold this over and follow the creases, and then you just have to fold it like this, and this is what you have. Now let's repeat it to the other side. Just follow the creases and pull this down, and then collapse it like so. Yeah, I can't believe this is so simple, although it took me multiple brain cells to design, but the actually folding is, yeah, not that hard. Come on. Alright, and you just fold this over, and then yeah, follow this, and yeah, this is what you have now. And also you have fold this triangle back a little bit and unfold this. So you basically, here you have this sort of cockpit thing, including this line here and this crease. They just form some sort of a cockpit, and this is what you have now. And let's move on. Now notice that here you have this sort of angle changing, and let's just pull it down a little bit. So you first open up this pocket right here, and then you first match these two dots, and then make sure that all these layers are on this side, and here you only have one layer. And you just have to fold down a little bit like so. And this inner single layer, you just have to gradually pull it down. Just be careful, and use a tweezer to help me. Yeah, so this is what you have now. As you can see, one side of the wing. And let's do it to the other side. So just poke it out, and fold this down, and then pull this layer, and then collapse it like so. Follow the creases. Come on. Yeah, this is what you have now. Come on. And let's check our symmetricity. Alright, good. This is what you have now. And then, can't believe we're just soon to be jet folding. So basically, you notice that here, this huge triangle here, we can fold it down first. So we can make a diagonal point. And then you just have to follow this point and this point, and fold all of this. Yeah, all of this and out. Just be careful, don't tear anything. Yeah, it has a really high tendency to happen. Like so. Just fold it all out like this, and here. Come on. Now do it to the other side. Like this. and yeah, match the other side. And then you just have to fold this in like so. Come on. Yeah, this part should be perfectly matched up, and then just fold it in the middle like so. And this is your jet fold. Over here, we're not going to complete it, we're just using it for some sort of reference. Alright, now unfold it. Like so. And you should notice that here we have this point right here, and what you're gonna do is just first you follow this point as a reference, and then you fold all this layer in and match this point right here to this line like so. Yeah, this is what you have now on one of the sides. Now let's do it to the other. Yeah, again, just fold it in. And let's check the symmetricity here. Alright, not bad. Okay, let's continue. Now let's fold this two in, and let's see, come on. So we have this two flaps over here, and what you're gonna do is just tuck them in like so. And same for the other side. You first fold these two up, and then just tuck them in like this. So these two layers will be your intakes, and then let's fold our wings up, I think. Yeah, just like this. You follow this point and this line, and same for the other side. Alright, unfold it, and let's continue. So we're going to do the jet fold like so, and then fold this down like this. And you should notice that here we have a point that is, yeah, at this position, yeah, the intersection between this line and this line. And first we're going to follow this point and fold this inner layer out and pull this up, and then let's see, yeah, collapse it. So the position of the reference should be like this. When you open this up, you should notice that here this line that you created when making a jet fold divides this part in half. Yeah, this is, yeah, this and this, the length is equal. This is what you should get. And again, you follow the same point, not the same point, not following the same point, you just fold this layer up, right in, and make sure that here you have this point and this line being perfectly matched up, and then just gradually adjust it to a position. So this is going to be half of your T-tail. And yeah, I'm going to use the same trick on the F-101 Voodoo. And same for the other side. Just fold it up and match up the lines. Come on. This point. And collapse it. Come on. Well. Right. So this is what you have now. And then let's go ahead and lock our plane. So basically you can just choose either of the sides. At first I would just, you can just roll all these layers over and fold this up, and this part you fold it in half and everything is done. But actually I later modified it a little bit. So first off, you open this up, and then notice that here's a line right here, and you just have to fold one side up like so, and then you just have to open up the pocket, and then you just sink it right in like this, and then collapse it. And then you just have to make sure that here you also have a layer. And what you're gonna do is first you fold this up like so, and then you tuck it in right into there. Yeah, this is how it works. Yeah, this is how it works. And then after doing so, you just have to, first you have to make sure that here this part should not be twisted, and then the upper side, the lower side, you just have to open up this pocket and then fold it all up. Come on. Yes. Come on. Maybe we should lower it a little bit because it's getting really thick. Damn it. Oh, that was intense. Because yeah, you literally have 8 layers of paper over there. And you just have to gradually collapse it. Yeah, that's why I really suggest you use foil paper for this jet, or it's gonna be super thick. Alright, now let's fold our tail fins down. Just make sure that, your wings are here for reference, and then you fold this down. And make sure that your crease is actually as parallel with your wings as possible. Like so. And same for the other side. This is what you have now. Now let's fold it up. And also fold your wings up. Alright, now the rest of the plane will just be shaping, and shaping. Yeah. It's basically just, round the fuselage. Like so, use your fingers. And just do it. Come on. And nothing special, just shaping. Excessive shaping. Come on. And for the rear part, you have these 2 huge layers. First, we gotta tuck one flap in. And then let's roll the other so they create some sort of overlapping stuff. And also this tiny bit, you can tuck it into this layer like so. So yeah, and for this layer you just again overlap them. And when doing so, you just have to make sure that all your layers are staying as flat as possible. So yeah, you form this afterburner in the rear now. Now let's just round it and shape it. Yeah, it's all about shaping now. Okay, so just have to again so shape the frontal fuselage. Then just straighten it out. Yeah, make sure that you straighten your wings out before flight. And now let's go ahead and pop our intakes. Basically just notice that here you have this layer right here and you just pop it open. So this is one side of the intake like this. Let's gonna pop up the other side like so. Come on. This is what you have now. A little bit tricky out here, and just continue shaping. You're almost there, and check some of the tiny stuff. Let's see. Alright, congratulations, you just made your F-104 Starfighter. Yeah, it's really cool, and I love it. So let's talk about a plane. Well, this plane is also a flyable model, and actually, I can't believe that this thing actually turned out to be a lot easier than I expected when it just comes to folding, although it's really a pain when I'm designing this thing. And yeah, you may have noticed that here you have this pointing stuff, and you may think, yeah, it's not that realistic because the real F-104 Starfighter have those being chopped and flat. Yeah, you can just fold them in and create a more realistic look, but I just leave it here because if you don't want this thing to be a flying model, this thing, if you just chop them, I suppose that it's not going to generate enough sufficient lift for this thing to actually fly well. And speaking of flying, I would suggest you when balancing the plane, if you have pitch problems, just balancing the T-tail. Although do not bend it too much, or because if you bend them too much, it will either directly go into the ground or they'll just pull up and stall. And for if you're suffering from roll problems, just again balance the ailerons. And when it comes to throwing it, there are two ways to throw this plane. The first one, you hold the rear section here and throw it. The other part is you hold this place, yeah, like this. However, whatever position you hold this jet, remember one thing. When throwing it, make sure that the direction you throw this plane, the nose must be pointing at the direction the force you deploy to this jet. It should not have any angle of attack. Do not do this, do this. Or the plane will just directly go into a stall or just crash into the ground. And throw it with all your strengths when doing so. It's gonna be a really fast mover with this sort of configuration and has a really high stall speed for this jet. So this should be concluding the tutorial of the F-104 Starfighter. And what other jets you want me to make, let me know. Just leave your opinions in the comments. See ya!